All right, so today's podcast is me, Clint, Dee, and Keegan.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello. And Clint's
Brought
daughter,
to you by
Evie.
coffee.
He didn't forget her this time.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
have
So
I guess
we're
we could use the BattleTech map
we're-
if you want to.
we're
Well, I
going,
think I have underneath.
Yeah, why don't we do it? That's
we're
fine.
going to play
Sorry, we're gonna
CAV,
be-
so we're chit-chatting
Yep.
about it. We have
So-
not played it yet, so
Yep. So
we'll get that video too. So
yeah,
go ahead,
I should
Clint.
probably. So
The
CAV,
starter box that you got comes with the core rulebook, 4
Yeah.
max.
four units. So it's going to be similar to BattleTech, but
So
not
it's like
quite.
BattleTech.
So CAV is combat assault vehicles. Oh, okay. So max. You know
Oh, I wondered what that was.
which.
The
Oh, what the acronym meant?
CAV.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an acronym.
So
It is,
CAV
yeah.
is combat
And
assault
this
vehicle.
game includes tanks and hover tanks. I just did not bring them, but I have some.
Ah.
So
So it isn't just mechs, it's other
it is
military
just,
type
it's just,
stuff.
It's kind of what the old school BattleTech stuff kind of was. So I'll go, since we're here and Keegan's breaking out the map. The map will work because it has like wood terrain and stuff.
You
So
want this open?
no, oh yes, I'm sorry. Those can open. We might as well set them out.
So Clint has some packages of terrain that he got here
Yeah,
for
that
CAV.
actually comes. You can buy them from.
They're
Can you
new
hear
in
it
the-
open?
New in the box, you can hear it open. Dee is gonna get most of them. I'll grab
This
one.
is an unboxing,
Sort of.
sort of,
That we're recording without recording live.
without video.
So these are like little.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
We're unique people here.
we're something, that's for sure.
Hey, we're a
Gosh,
cool
where's
little
your
group.
military training? I thought they always told you to bring a knife.
Well, this is interesting because this is nice, detailed terrain.
Yeah, what the hell?
So that, so whatever you do.
Wonder
you
if
don't
that's
take
resin.
that
Yeah,
box.
that's definitely resin, guys.
This
Yeah,
is
they're
resin.
resin. Yeah, their stuff is resin, and it's a weird resin. Some of this is really, really pliable. I've got one that's actually pinned together. You'll notice the barrels are kind of warped on this one. So some of them are.
I wonder
really
what kind
pliable.
of this is actually. It
But
feels
it's
like
a
it's.
heavy resin.
It looks
go
like something that.
together.
Do they?
nice.
Do they? These
Super
are something
easy.
you could print on your.
Oh, I could. Yeah, we could. But I actually like their stuff. And do you know what those pieces of train cost me?
Probably not
They were
much.
like $3.95 each.
Oh God,
That's it,
that's
for just
cheap.
a piece of
Yeah,
terrain?
you're better off just buying them.
Yeah,
Even with
you
shipping,
can't print it.
you
You
still.
can't print them. Well, you could print them for that, but then you get the
You
headache and your
could, but
electric
then,
bill.
yeah,
and-
you know, you might as well. So, and what was Dave? Which Dave got us into this, or was mentioning this?
Annex tabletop gaming. He does
Okay.
Max. He likes Max, and he likes CAV. I believe more than he likes BattleTech.
I've heard people like it, and I guess, looking at the rules and glancing, I could see why. It's not as
Overwhelming.
logistically balanced as BattleTech. It's a lot simpler. So you're not filling out sheets and yeah. it probably
BattleTech
does.
though has been around longer, and it's
It
more of
has.
an older school. And back then you weren't thinking. I mean, train and all that has always been okay,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
never been as popular
It's
as it is
yeah.
today.
And you know, BattleTech was really designed for the two-dimensional paper initially. Now, obviously, I'll never say BattleTech is horrible by any means, but we've been putting this box keeps getting shuffled away and put on the side. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should do this.
Absolutely.
That'll be good. So,
So you've got 4.
I got 4 units. This
Max.
is all the same house. So the way CAV is laid out is there are houses. Through
Which are like
this-
clans,
They're
right?
basically your clans. And then each unit has their own unique CAV, some share. Plus, the nice thing with this rules, you can also have a pirate faction and a mercenary faction, which means they can use any CAVs or tanks or whatever.
Oh, so they have infantry too. Looking
Yes,
through the
they
rule
do
book.
have infantry, and the infantry is awesome. I need to order some. I still don't have it. I don't know if we're going to have all the right
Dictator B.
dice to play this, so we're just going to, unless somebody brought a multitude of dice,
I
We'll
have
need
more
them.
dice, Clint.
we'll need 1d10 and 1d12 as well as 2d6.
Yeah.
I do not have.
I
these.
did
got
not
some
bring
here.
any of those.
That's, well, I know we have at
Oh,
least
come on.
d6, but if D has hers, then we're good. We're covered.
I got something in there somewhere.
Yeah, I have no
I know I
no
have-
D10s or no D12s.
I brought the official
And
games
with
with
the dice
coffee.
tower. So we'll do a video on this too, just to get a feel for it. The cards are a little unique and a little different to read. Not hard, so you don't have the big dot sheet like BattleTech does. And everything like that.
Brewery last time.
So
Okay. Take that over here.
I'm just looking at the rules here, so there's a clause.
That'd be good, but then you might,
Speak
if
while
she
they're-
bumps it, it might be a problem.
Yeah.
Remind me what dice we need.
So it says 1d10,
I can't tell what
1d10,
this is. Okay.
1d12,
They look like.
and 2d6.
I don't know if that's a good, well, it might be a good spot for it.
Here, do you want to?
Well, we could always move
Or,
the map
yeah,
when
you
we
want
get
to
ready to
first
record too.
Yeah, the purse is in trouble.
So that's not a problem. Sorry guys, we're kind of setting up while we do all this. So
No, that's okay, we're just recording.
yeah, so
Evie's
How
gonna
you
get
turn
pinned
this
in.
one? Turn it.
so turn sequence wise is pretty much your start phase,
This
your
is
deployment
actually
phase,
should
your
be-
activation phase, and then end phase.
This way?
So there's 4 phases with it. It goes pretty simple.
So I know there's
Start
the
phase,
level, so it shows the
um,
level. But that's not really the deal. Go ahead, experiment there, Keegan.
I was just
Is,
gonna
you know,
try to get it
it
focused on
mentions
the.
a deck, but I don't have a deck.
So what you're gonna wanna do
I'm not
is
sure
turn
why,
it on.
I can't remember what the deck's purpose
And then
was,
with
but
this-
it was not detrimental
See this, you have to push
to
it
the
in,
game.
unlock the limb.
Oh, that's your
Um,
focus.
Deployment phase
Well, you
is
have to
just that,
unlock it.
deployment, so players will determine who goes where and
Card.
your movement. Your activation phase is where everything happens, and that's gonna be your movement, your combat, everything is gonna be in activation. End phase is basically the
looks pretty
standard
good right there.
cleanup phase.
Which memory card?
So I'm not gonna focus a lot on the start phase or the deployment phase, cause we're just gonna put our stuff on the map and roll to see who goes first and go with that, cause it's much easier.
In the, bag. Go ahead, Clint.
So yeah,
Talk away.
so for the activation phase, there are action points that everyone has. Generally, CAV is 2-player, but there's no reason we all can't just take 1 unit and go.
Yeah.
So each person will essentially have 2 activation points per turn, and they can do 1 or more types of action.
Yeah.
So a move action, a
bottom.
target lock action, a combat action,
Oh, okay.
or a combat action.
Yeah, just when you didn't have cards, like, oh shit.
So a
Yeah.
move action is just that. You move. You're walking, you're moving, you're turning. A target
Okay, so
lock action.
turning, walking,
Yeah,
anything
so it's a
is
move.
considered
It's a move. Yeah. A target lock action is basically you are stopped and are locking onto your target. You're going to
You
plan
can't
to
lock
shoot.
while moving.
Nope. The combat action is where you shoot and damage. So you can perform up to 2 actions on the activation phase. You can't, if I understand, you can't perform 2 of the same actions. And since we're only running 1 unit each, there'd be no way we could perform the 2. You're not gonna lock onto a target twice. It's just not gonna happen.
No.
So, move action, the bases on these guys are hexed like Battletech, that's why we're using the sheet, so we're just gonna count the hexes as we move.
Yeah.
So just assume you've got, your walker here has a hex in the middle of it, and that's your,
Yeah, so
Oh,
I figure
yeah,
if I
that's your
just center
movement.
it on the hex, that'll.
alright, so.
And he's talking about the haunt.
Oh, yeah. We're using all the CAV units from Malvernus because that's what I have for the starter box, so it's basically the Malvernus starter box. Figured
The
that way
Mal
we
what?
get a feel for the game. We will not be balanced, there's gonna be a couple that are really light and a couple that are much heavier, so unfortunately, it's gonna be a slight disadvantage, but the idea
okay.
is
I
to
just
learn how
better
to
not
play.
let any of you
So,
get close to me, I guess.
you're not one of the light ones.
Huh?
You're not one of the light ones.
Yes, but I can't shoot at you up close.
Actually, you can.
Oh, this isn't like in Team Yank or anything where you're limited on how far away they gotta be before it's effective?
It's a little different because it goes by weapon.
Gotcha.
I mean, you generally have long range stuff with the missiles, but you also do have some light lasers that are shorter range.
Oh, okay, I thought it was all missiles.
Nope, you're not. You actually have, you can't see it, there's actually a laser right here.
Oh, that's what that hole is.
Yeah, it's because
Okay.
it's, so I'll get into the cards in a second, but your weapon stats are at the bottom of each unit. Movement, I want to do movement real quick, so. The cards have a move value, and you notice, and you're looking at a card, so you definitely see, so you see there's a move value. You notice that this move value has a different number depending on this number. This number is the amount of damage you take. So as you lose health, these numbers change.
So the black ones that say CAV is
That's your
Health.
damage points.
damage, okay.
So in your case, looking at this dictator, let's say you have 5 damage already, you're at 5. Your move is now a 4, your armor is now a 6, and your close combat rating is now a 3.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
this
So
is
it just
why
keeps
this
changing.
it does change as you are,
Okay.
as you take more damage. That's one of the reasons why
Explains, you know.
people like it. So movement is the number of hexes you can move. Plain and simple. Turning, turning is done in a obviously as a hex side facing turning. Trying to see. I don't believe you pay a point to turn, and that's what I'm checking real quick. And we might just play it as you spend 1 movement point to turn. If we're doing that wrong, we can always fix it later. Sure.
Help you figure
Now,
it out.
I do have to ask one question.
Mm-hmm.
On turning, do we have to use our turn signals? They are
Yes,
big mess.
turn signals are always safe, and you should be wearing your seatbelts at all times. But don't worry, Keegan, yours does not have an airbag or anti-lock brakes.
Yes. So like brakes on the back, that would be.
But does it
You're
beep
more
when you
I'm
back
sitting
up?
here in the background.
No,
going,
it
"That's
doesn't,
fine."
Probably
because he
not.
has 4 legs and they make more noise than the backup alarm would.
Yeah, so you probably can't hear it anyways.
So, yeah, we are going to be way off balance with this. So light wood terrains, light woods, these little guys here, which I know
Yep.
people can see. So it's +1 to your movement. Hill terrain, change in height elevation is either +1 or -1 depending on are you going up or down. If you're going up, you're going to have -1 movement. If you're going down, you're going to have +1 movement. Just because gravity's doing its thing.
Nice. It's hard to tell elevation on this map though.
Well, this one doesn't have any. That's why it's hard to tell because there's none on this. You're flat. This
Okay,
is all
so we're
flat.
playing on a flat
You are
terrain.
playing on a flat open field with some trees and some buildings, just as stuff to block line of sight. But that's movement in a nutshell. So target lock action is you basically declare you're going to shoot. In this case, it's a lock on fire, such as with guided missiles, and can be used in conjunction with targeting computers and other special effects. I'm not going to worry about the unit's special abilities. We're just going to play what's on the face of the card. If you flip the card over, you'll see. You can flip that over. If you flip, you'll see that it's got other special effects. I'm not going to worry about that for this. We're just going to play straight up as is. So you're going to have direct fire and indirect fire for your combat actions. So indirect fire, Keegan, you will have indirect fire.
Which are missiles.
It's your missiles, yep. So you don't have to see the target. You're basically lobbing it over things. Now
Oh, so I can sit in the back and
you can sit in back and just shell. You're an artillery unit anyway, basically. Now, it'll be a little harder for you to hit doing that, obviously, but you have that ability to do it. So whenever you're making an attack, you roll 2d6, adding the value of the dice together and adding it to the appropriate situation modifier. Situation modifiers can be positives or negatives, range being...
we want higher numbers, right?
Yes, I believe.
Oh, these dice might have to go in the trash. I only rolled 3, a 1 and a 2.
There's a lot of great examples in this quick start book, but we're going to make some mistakes. I don't care anyway. We'll learn and figure. But I mean, and then obviously damage works a little different. So once you've actually taken damage, that's where you're going to change on your sheet. You're going to have to remember your damage points because it's going to change your numbers, like your movement and everything.
No, we should take the home, copy it, and then laminate it.
Well, you can just download this for free off their website.
Oh, yeah, and print off the laminate.
Yeah, exactly. I used to have them on my other phone, but my phone disappeared. Well,
Come here, sweetheart.
go over there and Keegan can get it. He can trim it with what he's got. Okay, so range. Let's look at range real quick.
Hold it from 2 sides, otherwise it'll ravel more.
Hmm?
You just said hold it from 2 sides, otherwise it'll ravel more.
Yeah, I seen that.
Okay, so the range modifiers on the unit indicate their
Okay, yeah.
range band,
I'm just gonna stay out first.
you know, and the number that you can use with it. Now that this range applies to the weapon as a whole, so even though range might be under 2 numbers, the whole number band applies. Again, as you take damage, this number goes down. So even the weapons numbers coincide with your damage.
Okay.
Because you're not gonna have a critical effect or anything like that in this game. That's why your weapons get less effective the more damage you take as well. Plus your movement is hindered, so it kinda just rolls it all into one. It's really kinda nice. So there's a range band with these. Let's see here. And anything that's marked as extreme is your maximum range for your weapon. So, real quick, there's the range diagram. It gives you an idea. If you notice the penalties for shooting,
Okay.
depending on the range.
Are we talking about this
Yeah,
thing?
the diagram right there. Now there's,
Oh.
it's all in the chart on the back
Okay.
of the book that I'll be using, but that's kinda gives you an idea. So, basically range should be counted as, the number of hexes.
Okay.
They put it as inches, so 12 inch, 24, 36, 48 inches.
We
Each-
don't have 48, but
No, we don't, and that's 48 would be
Yeah.
considered
we could do
extreme
centimeters or
range.
something.
That would be-
Most of this map is gonna be 12 to 24 inch.
Yeah.
And really, in this case, just count the hexes. If
Sure.
it's 12 hexes, it's short range. If it's 24 hexes, it's medium range.
And yeah, we're not gonna get over 2 feet.
We're not gonna get over on this map, no, for sure not. So, if it's a 12-inch range, your base is a 6 on 2d6. If it's a medium range, then it's a 7. And then cover can factor into that and everything else. And so it's like Battletech. You're rolling 2d6 plus any penalty numbers and trying to beat your target number.
See, sometimes they should just make things, I don't know, I've only caught part of it because I'm trying to set
Yeah,
up the
no,
other
it's
stuff,
fine.
but, yeah, interesting.
So for example, the short range, and I'm gonna just use these guys. So if we're short range and we're shooting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're 6 inches from each other, short range. So your base target number is a 6. So I've gotta roll a 6 on 2d6 to hit you. Plus, if I walked, if there's trees in the way, which there is, stuff like that. So I'm gonna need a higher target number to go that way. So maybe, let's say the tree's +1, we know the tree line is +1. And so that's gonna be a 7 to hit you at that point. We know that for a fact. Locking on, I believe, target lock. I don't remember if target lock just makes it so you can hit them, or
So this here is a game that you've been wanting to play,
yeah, for
but
a
just
long
haven't
time
had
we
a
just
chance.
haven't. Because it's
You
like
got
a
it
light
in
version of.
November or something.
Maybe I did.
You
I
did.
don't remember.
Yeah, cause I just
There's
looked at
been
the Facebook, I just looked at the Facebook about it.
Much. There's been so much going on that I can't remember.
We have
now.
had quite a bit going on.
We
so
have,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, close combat is when you are the next hex. And that's where you're kicking and punching.
So generally, I think I missed this though, since we're using the Battletech map, which is okay, because it's
Yeah,
got
it's
hexes,
just
but
the hexes.
But
generally.
the hexes are an inch, so that'll cut down on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
then
make
you
it
don't gotta
easier.
take-
We will never exceed long range or medium range, so that'll be good. So really, everyone's base target number will either be a 6 or a 7,
So.
plus whatever
simple. Okay.
is in the way. I mean, this is gonna be pretty straightforward anyway. So basically, combat is, so when you do declare your lock-on action, because that means you're shooting at someone, you're not doing anything else. You've got your base number, you roll 2d6, adding the individual dice results together, and the result appropriate situation modifier. You want that number or higher, basically. And the chart will
Alrighty,
show.
so we'll stop this little podcast
I
and get
think,
ready
yeah,
to game.
let's just go ahead and
How's
throw
that?
this down, and let's kind of,
Yeah.
We're gonna
So-
put the video up.
yep,
It'll go on YouTube in the next day or two.
so
Get a feel for it.
All right, you
Whichever
guys,
you wanna
thank you
beat,
for
I don't care
listening.
which one
We're
you
gonna
want.
get ready to play.